everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we are going to continue with our chapter pronoun. Now, this is part third of the same chapter. Well, earlier we have already discussed two parts on this chapter. In this chapter, we are going to continue with a type of pronoun that we were discussing earlier in our last session, that is reflexive pronoun. In this session, we are going to continue with that type of pronoun. In fact, we'll elaborate that particular point in this session and we'll revise it with some additional points. Okay. So, first of all, in this session, we are going to discuss reflexive pronoun, and after that, we'll discuss one more type of pronoun in this session. So, first of all, we'll discuss reflexive and emphasizing pronoun. Okay. Now, this emphasizing pronouns, these we have already covered in the last session. However, we discussed reflexive pronoun as well in the last session, but in this session we are going to revise it with some additional points. Okay, so let's begin the session. So first of all, we'll discuss reflexive pronoun over here. So this is reflexive pronoun that we are going to discuss. Reflexive pronouns are a type of pronoun used when the subject and the object of a sentence are same person or thing. They are used to reflect the action back onto the subject. Now we know a basic point that in a sentence we do have a subject, after that we have a verb, and then we have an object. And we know very well that this object actually receives the action. Okay, so this object is actually the receiver of the action. Okay, so one who receives the action is known as the object of the sentence. For example, if I say he hurt, okay, now hurt is the second form of hurt, is also hurt. Therefore, if I say he hurt, it means this can be said that this sentence is in past indefinite tense. So I can say he hurt his, suppose he hurt Ravi. Okay, he hurt Ravi. Okay, now here, the person he is the subject of the sentence, hurt is actually the verb, and Ravi, he receives this action of hurt. It means he was hurt due to him. Okay, due to him. Now this Ravi is the object of the sentence. Okay, and he has been hurt. Okay, now if I say that there is an object to receive this action of hurting. Okay, now if I say he hurt, simply I say one thing, that is he hurt. Now I do not have any object over here. Now whom did he hurt? Obviously I need a person whom he hurt, but here we do not have any object to show that whom did he hurt. Now it can be possible that he must have hurt himself only. Okay, so I can say he hurt himself. Now himself means when he is reflecting back to the subject, it means himself and he both are the same person. Okay, both are the same person. It means the receiver of the action is actually the doer of that action. Okay, for example, there is a girl, Ria. Now what she was doing, she was cutting vegetables. Okay, so Ria cut vegetables. Okay, Ria cut vegetables. Now while she was cutting vegetables, what happened? Unfortunately or suddenly she cut her finger. Okay, now I can say Ria cut herself. Okay, Ria cut herself. Now here, the person who does this action is also Ria, and who was cut or who received that action was also Ria. It means this Ria and herself, these two are the same person. It means if the receiver and the doer of the action, both the people are same, then we use reflexive pronoun. Okay, in that case we use reflexive pronoun. It means if the doer of the action as well as the receiver of the action, if both the persons are same, we use reflexive pronoun. Okay, so here if I say Ria cut herself, so these both of these person are same. If I say he hurt himself, it means he hurt only himself. Okay, so this himself and he both are the same person. It means one who hurt is also the same person, and one who got that hurt is also the same person. Okay, so both the persons, when subject and object both are same, we use reflexive pronoun. Okay, now whenever we have a transitive verb, Now, as we know well that what is transitive verbs are the verbs. We have already discussed this in the chapter of verb. Moreover, I must tell you it over here only that transitive verbs are actually the verbs where we need an object after it. Okay, which need object, which need an object to receive it. Okay, which need an object. It means if the sentence is incomplete without an object, this that verb is known as transitive verb. Okay, for example, if I say Ravi played the guitar. Ravi played the guitar. Now what did Ravi play? Ravi played the guitar. So guitar is an object, Ravi is the subject, and played is verb. Okay, so after this verb you can say that we have an object, and if the verb if there is an object in the sentence which receives that action, or if you or you can say that if there is an object to receive that particular action, then the verb is known to be transitive verb. If we need not add any object after the verb, then that verb is known as intransitive verb. For example, if I say Ravi played. Ravi played. Now, of course, here I just said that Ravi played. It means this action has been done by Ravi, and we need not mention any object over here. Without object as well, the sentence is complete. If I say the birds fly in the sky, okay. If I say the birds fly in the sky, or the birds fly, okay. If I say the birds fly, now of course this action of flying is done by the birds, and of course for them only. I cannot say the birds fly. I need no object over after this fly, okay, because this fly is an action which is focusing on the birds only. So here we don't need any object. So this type of verb is known as intransitive verb. Okay, so there are two types of verb where we need an object, and without an object the sentence is incomplete, then the verb is known to be transitive verb. Or if we have an object in the sentence to receive that action, that is also known as transitive verb. But if we do not need any object after the verb to receive it, then that is known as intransitive verb. Okay, so this concept we are going to elaborate in the chapter of verb. Okay, so here you should only know that after the verb, if we need an object, if it is incomplete without an object, then then the verb which is mentioned over there is transitive verb. For example, if I say she, if I say she made. Now, of course, if I say she made, is the sentence complete? No, not at all. You need an object. That what did she make? What did she make? I said that she made a painting. Okay, so this painting has been made by her. Okay, so this painting is receiving this action of making. Okay, so this painting has been made, and this made is used for this painting, and the verb is exactly focusing on the object. So this painting is the object of the sentence, and this verb thus is known as transitive verb. Okay, now reflexive pronouns and in self or selves for plural. Now we have three type of persons: first person, second person, and third person. Okay, first person is I and we, second person is of course you, third person is he, she, it, or they. Okay, so these are actually the third person pronouns. Okay, so we have first person, second person, and third person. In case of first person and second person, we add the word self uh, or selves. Okay, now I, for I we have myself. Okay, and my is actually the possessive case of I. So whenever we talk about first and the second person, we add um self or selves word, self or selves word to the possessive case. Okay, to the possessive case of first and second persons. Okay, for example, for I we write my. Okay, possessive case my, and myself will be its reflexive case. For you, it can be yourself as well as yourselves. Okay, so both can be written, yourself or yourselves. Why so? Because you is used for singular as well as plural. For example, if there is one person in front of me, I can say you, and if I have many in front of me, I can say you. Okay, so in both the cases I can you even for the singular and plural. Okay, so in this case, if I say myself, yourself, yourselves, and for we can say ourselves. Okay, in case of we can say ourselves. So, with this, we can say that in the possessive case of the first and second person, we need to add the self or selves word to make them plural. But in case of third person, what we do in case of third person, we add self or self word to the objective case of these words. Okay, to the objective cases of these words. Okay, we add either self or selves according to the requirement, or you can say according to the number of people. Okay, so we can write either self or selves. Okay, for example, for he we use himself. Okay, and him is actually the objective case of he, so we'll write himself. Then she for she we write herself. For it we write itself. For they we write themselves. Okay, so in such a manner we can write all of this. Okay, so for they we write themselves, for he himself, her herself, she herself, it itself. Okay, so these are actually the objective cases in which we have added this self or selves word respectively. Okay, so this is how we make a reflexive pronoun. Okay, now let us get back to the slide. So singular reflexive pronouns are myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself. Whereas plural reflexive pronouns are ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. Now if you see myself, this is the reflexive case of I. You is also the reflexive case of first person. Okay. So this is also first person. This is also this is second person. Himself is actually the third person. Okay, herself is also third person, and itself is also third person. So for first and second person we are using a possessive case, and after that self or selves word. Okay, uh, and if we talk about third person, we write objective case plus self or selves word. Okay, and in case of uh, plural reflexives, if I say ourselves, so ourselves and yourself, this is first and second person pronoun. Okay, and if we talk about themselves, this is third person pronoun. Okay, in which we add according to the possessive and the objective case, we'll add self or selves according to the number of people. Okay, now let us move to the next one. Examples are I hurt myself while playing. Now the subject is I and the object is myself. Okay, refer to the same person. So both of these person are same. One who has hurt and one who was hurt. Both are the same people, same persons. If I say he praised himself, it means he did not praise anyone else. In fact, he praised him only, himself only. Okay, so himself and he are both the same persons. Now here, this is very very important that we are going to discuss right now. Okay, this is something very very important, in fact extremely very important. If after any transitive verb, for example absent, introduce, enjoy, avenge, avail, amuse, blame, cut, hurt, etc. Now these are some verbs. Okay, more verbs can be there like prostrate. Okay, prostrate, and there are many more words like this, acquitted, and any transitive verb. Okay, in short I can say only one word, that is transitive verb. So whenever we have a transitive verb in the sentence, and after that we do not have any object, in fact we have a preposition. Suppose in a sentence you find a transitive verb just followed by a preposition and not the object, it means that sentence is incorrect. Why so? Because after transitive verb obviously we need an object, and if the object is absent over there, it means the sentence is incorrect, and to rectify it we need to write a reflexive pronoun after it. Okay, so the object is absent. If the object is absent, we use reflexive pronouns. For example, if I say she absented from the meeting, so this is incorrect. I can write she absented herself from the meeting. Okay, if I say she was absent, that is fine. Okay, but if I say she absented, obviously I need an object. That whom did she absent? Okay, he introduced himself to the guests. Now, he introduced himself to the guest is the correct sentence. Okay, because after introduced, I have written himself. Now, if I say he introduced to the chairman, to the chairman. Now, is the sentence correct? Not, of course. Okay, so this sentence will be incorrect, and to rectify it, will add he introduced himself. Okay, so he introduced himself to the chairman. Okay, now if I say introduced he introduced me to the chairman, me to the chairman, to the chairman. Now, if you look at this sentence carefully, you would find that it is written introduced, and whom did he introduce? He introduced me to whom? To the chairman. So this is the object of the sentence. Now, if there is subject plus verb plus object, so obviously this is the object, and this is transitive verb, of course. And if is the transitive verb, it is followed by object before the preposition. We do not have a preposition just after the word introduced. That is why this sentence is absolutely correct. Whereas in the above sentence, if I say he introduced to the chairman, so you can say over here that introduced, it means that this transitive verb is just followed by the word to, which is incorrect. Okay, now enjoy. They enjoyed themselves at the party. I cannot say that they enjoyed the party. No, they enjoyed at the party. Now, if I say they enjoyed the party, the sentence will be correct. But if I say they enjoyed at the party, the sentence will be incorrect. But if I say they enjoyed themselves at the party, the sentence will be correct. Okay. For example, if I say they enjoyed the picnic. Now here, enjoyed is transitive verb, and what did they enjoy? They enjoyed the picnic. So the picnic is the object. Therefore, the sentence is correct. But if I say they enjoyed in the picnic, the sentence will be incorrect. Why, sir? Because whom did they enjoy, or what did they enjoy? Here it is written they enjoyed in the picnic. But what did they enjoy? Why did they enjoy so much in the picnic? So if I say they enjoyed in the picnic, that sentence will be incorrect. It can be rectified by applying the reflexive case, that is they enjoyed themselves in the picnic. Okay, then the sentence will be correct. Okay, he avenged himself on his enemy. So this sentence is he avenged himself. I cannot say he avenged on his enemy. Okay, so he avenged himself on his enemy. After the verb avail, we always use the preposition of. Thus we need a reflexive case as well. We availed ourselves of the opportunity. Okay, it means we took advantage of the opportunity. She amused herself by reading a book. Okay, I cannot say she amused by reading a book. No, she amused herself by reading a book. Okay, so this is how we use reflexive pronoun. If after any transitive verb, if the object is absent, we need to put reflexive pronoun, uh, uh, certainly. Okay, we cannot omit it from there. Okay, now, the most important thing is transitive verb in a sentence, and if the transitive verb is followed by an object, then it is fine. If it is not followed by an object, if the object is absent by after the transitive verb, we need to write reflexive pronoun always. Now, if the verbs are intransitive, obviously we do not need a reflexive pronoun. Why, sir? Because reflexive pronoun are actually the objects, but they reflect the subject. Okay, it means when the subject and object both are same in the sentence, we use reflexive pronoun. But if they are not same, we do not need them. Okay, but if the object is absent, then the matter solves. Okay, because if there is no object, no reflexive pronoun is needed. Okay, but if there is no need of the object, because if there is no object, if the verb is transitive, we need the reflexive pronoun. But if the verb is intransitive, it means we do not need any object, and if there is no reflexive, that does not matter at all. Okay, So here we have some examples. All these are intransitive verbs, or these are the verbs which can be used in both the manners, like transitive or intransitive. Verbs like keep, hide, bathe, turn, stop, start. Now these words, all these verbs, these verbs are intransitive as well as transitive. It means these verbs, they behave like transitive as well as intransitive. Typically do not take reflexive pronouns because they do not involve actions directed back at the subject. Okay. Now, the first verb is keep. He keeps off from bad company. He keeps off from bad company means that if the sentence is like he keeps off the bad company, it means he does not involve in bad company. He keeps himself, sorry, he keeps off means he he does not make any friend of bad company. Okay, so he make distance from them, or he maintains distance from them. Hide. Hide, the second form of hide is hid. So she hid behind the curtain. It means so she made herself uh, hid behind the curtain, or she went behind the curtain and hid. Okay. uh, so the sentence is again absolutely correct. Bathe means to get bath, or to take bath. They bathed themselves in the river. Now this sentence will be wrong. Okay, obviously we cannot say that they bathed themselves. In fact, they bathed over there. So they bathed in the river, not they bathed themselves. This is incorrect, and the second one is right. He turned towards the temple. That is fine. Okay, but I cannot say he turned himself. No, he did not turn himself. Turn itself means to turn around. Okay, so he turned towards the temple. She stopped there abruptly. It means she stopped there suddenly. Okay, so she was not stopped by someone else. In fact, she stopped by her own. Okay. Now, uh, your reflexive pronoun is over. Now we'll discuss indefinite pronoun. That is another type of pronoun. Okay, so this is indefinite pronoun that we are going to discuss right now. Indefinite pronouns. Now, what are indefinite pronouns? Something which is not definite in number. Indefinite pronouns are a type of pronoun that does not refer to any specific person, thing, or amount. Indefinite means any, it can be any. Instead, they refer to non specific or unknown entities. Now, what happens if you have a word any, none, each, every? Now, if we have any of these words like any, none, each, every, some, or no, okay, in one case, and in another, we have three words like buddy, one, or think. Okay, so we have this type of a structure. Now, by adding these two words together, when we make a word that is known as indefinite pronoun. Okay, for example, anybody, anyone, anything. Okay, so anybody, anyone, anything, this can be made. Okay. uh, no one, nobody, no, nothing. Okay, each one, each thing. Now none can be avoided from this part. Everybody, everyone, everything, somebody, someone, something, nobody, no one, nothing. Okay, so by adding these two groups, or one from this group and one from this group, we can make several indefinite pronouns. Okay, or various indefinite pronouns. Now some common types of indefinite pronouns are um, anyone, any person, someone, some person, no one, nobody, or no person, everyone, every person, somebody, somebody. Okay. uh, Examples. Now in case of indefinite pronoun, we always use, whenever we have indefinite pronoun, one thing we should keep in mind, these are always followed by singular verb. Okay. Now if I say someone left their umbrella in the office, this question is incorrect. The correct one will be someone has left his umbrella in the office. In the office. Okay, this sentence will be correct. Nobody knows the answer to the question. So here we have written nobody, which is the singular subject. After that, we are writing singular verb. Okay. So after indefinite pronoun, we always write singular verb with it. Plural indefinite pronouns. Now there are several indefinite pronouns which are always plural. For example, several. Now several can be any number, but we cannot say that these are the fixed number. If I say all, both, many, few, so these are always plural. Few means not many or a smaller number. It is equivalent to zero. Okay, few is basically equivalent to zero. Okay, which is equivalent to zero. We use few, or a few is used for something which is a smaller number. Okay, many, a large number, both, the two of them. Example, several students passed the exam, many people attended the event. Singular or plural indefinite pronouns, all, the whole number or amount. Now this word all, it can be used in both the manners, whether we are talking about singular indefinite pronoun or plural. For example, if I say all that glitters is not gold, so all can be used with countable nouns as well as uncountable nouns. Okay, countable as well as uncountable. Whenever it is used as a countable noun, or it is used with countable noun, um, we always use is it like in plural case. Okay, but in uncountable it is treated as singular noun. Okay, or singular pronoun. Okay, for example, all that glitters is not gold. Okay, um if I say all the people were there, so all the people, here I'm writing all the people are plural noun, and I'm using all the people, all the people were there, so were is the plural verb. Okay, some, an unspecified number or amount, any, one, some, or with all without specifying which, none, not any. Examples, all of the cake was eaten, some of the books were returned. So all of the cake, when it is used in singular form. Why, sir? Because here all of the cake means we are talking about uncountable noun. But if I say some of the books were returned, so here some is used for countable. Okay. Some water is dirty. So we are talking about some water. Water is uncountable. But if I say some people are there, so some people means the because the people are countable, so we can say some people, it means a few of them. Okay. Indefinite pronouns for with every, everyone, every person, everything, everybody, every person. Everyone was present in the meeting, everything is ready for the event. Now whenever we begin any sentence with everyone, we use the possessive case his. Okay, but for everything we use its. Okay, for everything we use its. For example, everything has its, has, this is everything has its own value. Okay, everything has its own value. Now in this sentence you can see that I'm saying everything has its own value, so we are talking about everything has its own value. Okay. Now subject verb agreement. Indefinite pronouns take a singular verb when they are used in singular, and plural verb when they are used as plural. Everyone is here, singular. Some of the cake has been eaten, singular. Several students were absent, plural. Use of one and once. So one is actually the subjective case and once is the possessive case of once. Okay. One is used when the pronoun refers to singular noun and once is used when it refers to the plural noun. Also, one once is the possessive case of one. I want the red shirt, not the blue one. These shoes are too tight. I need bigger ones. Okay. Um One more thing. If I use one, its possessive case is once. Okay. Now, if I say one should respect, one should respect his parents. So this sentence, what do you find? Is the sentence correct or incorrect? The sentence is incorrect, and the rectification of this sentence should be his should be replaced with once. Okay, so once is actually the possessive case of one. Okay, so this is how we can use indefinite pronoun once. Okay, one should respect one's parents. Okay, so this will be the correct sentence. Now Here we have ended this topic. We have discussed each and everything about pronoun. I hope you have understood each and every concept of pronoun till now. So all this, all these questions we have finished, and so all the concepts related to pronoun we have finished. I hope each and every concept is clear to you. And if you want to learn more concepts, be connected with me. Till then, thanks to you.